back. Michigan State versus NC State in East Lansing. Connor's fired up, clapping on the sideline. Blake's out of frame. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's focused up. Now he's back. All right, we're good. NC State, Michigan State in East Lansing. This is a Season 5 Round 1 game. We got 10 viewers in the chat as we're getting started. Twist, how's it going, buddy?
Great, buddy. My guess is that Blake was off screen getting some pre-workout. He's going to need to focus on this one.
Probably if our man Gerald could give us the line in this one. I think the last game was -6.5 was the more accurate line. Ended up hitting. It was a 7-point game. So one playoff game, one single score game, and we're living up to the hype from last season as well, even adding the extra 4 minutes to the game.
And here we go, buddy. The second playoff game of the night. I feel blessed. I feel like it's already hit Christmas.
It has, absolutely. And we got more action tomorrow night. We got a bowl game after this. It's going to be a good night.
Absolutely, buddy.
But NC State going to come out. There is rumors that Coach Blake is headed to Baylor after this one, and an errant pass by Devin Leary to get the game started. A quick bubble was there, just like I said, a very errant pass. Second and 10 now. Leary going to hand the ball off to Jordan Houston up the middle. He picks
Great
up
play
11
call.
yards on the first down. Absolutely. A great play.
It was interesting to see that Blake went to Baylor. It looked like he had his eye on at least a couple places in Texas, huh?
Yeah, must be a Texas boy to say the least. Devin Leary pass deep downfield, falls incomplete. Throw that one into double coverage.
Yeah, it's too bad I didn't see his running back coming breaking across the middle there open. He was breaking away from his defender there. Would have had an easy first down.
Absolutely. But you live to see another day. It's 2nd and 10 now. Oh, the corner's picked off. It's speed. Connor is pumped on the sideline. Connor's coming for that chip. He's coming for the championship. He got a chip on his shoulder, to say the least. That was actually just a kind of inverted smash route where you run a snag or a quick end underneath instead of the normal hitch. Blake had the corner open. Unfortunately, he just threw it on a dart instead of putting some air under it, and it ends up being intercepted.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't recognize that the defense was actually in a soft zone there, too. It looked like that corner was passing that receiver off to the inside and had his eyes on the quarterback, which tells you they were in the zone.
Absolutely. Now, Connors, he's going to pick up 4 yards on his first play of the day. He's already in plus territory, already in field goal range. So a great start here for the Spartans. Peyton Thorne back to pass. Ball falls incomplete. Good read there by the NC State defense. Come up and put a hit on the wide receiver to knock that ball loose. Now going to be 3rd and 6 for Michigan State.
Yeah, they sure had everything covered there real nice. They had a deep ball to the right side, had deep coverage over there, and everything else was blanketed. Just blanketed.
Absolutely. So we got off coverage, maybe a cover 3 look coming in for NC State. Or some type of man-free, maybe. It is covered. Yeah, I believe that was covered.
Great read.
And a good read by Peyton Thorne there by Coach Connor, and a first down for Michigan State.
Be interesting to see if Coach Blake changes up his defensive game plan a little bit. I'd like to see him bring a little pressure, maybe change things up and force some bad passes, or maybe find a run lane and come and hit him in the backfield.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to find a way to mix up his defense
and there you go.
Keep Connor on his toes, and a good read there, good stop, forcing a 2-yard loss.
Anytime you can stop Jarek Broussard for a 2-yard loss, that's a W.
Absolutely. Second and 12. Still not inside the red zone just yet. We got trips to the field, tight end and a running back to the boundary. There'll be a handoff to Broussard up the middle. Runs into the back of his lead blocker. We're going to make it 3rd and 1 after picking up 11 on 2nd down. I'd expect probably go back to the ground game. They will do just that. Same play. Blake read it, but the safety unable to get down to the line of scrimmage quick enough.
And there we go. Coach Connors really had a great season. I mean, obviously he's the 3 seed in our tournament here, or is that
7?
I'm sorry, 7 seed. With a very strong 6-2 record.
I think his only losses were to UNMT. So
yeah, I absolutely just a balanced user, very patient. I expect this game to be a coaching battle for sure, and it's going to come down to who makes the best decisions, not necessarily who makes the best plays on the field.
Absolutely. He's got 2 losses on the season, both of them by 3 points, and they ended up being to the number 3 and number 5 seed as Peyton Thorne walks in unscathed for a 5-yard touchdown, and Connor takes the lead 7-0 with about midway going to the first quarter.
Yeah, and I can confirm. I mean, it definitely is one of the better players that I faced this year on defense, especially. Kept it really close, and it was a great matchup.
Blake going to have a good opportunity to set himself up in great field position here. Rooks unable to complete the spin move. Only picks up 22 yards on the return there. I think he'll start about it on the 20-yard line. So Blake coming out in a pistol look. 1st and 10. Got a man open on the out route. Avoids a sack. Diggs open as well. Throws it to Thomas. And the safety made a good read on it. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, it looked like Leary may have pushed him upfield just a little bit instead of staying on the line.
Yeah, I agree. I think he tried to lead him up. He should have maybe even cut it short to try and cut off that defender and catch the ball in front of him, but
good recovery there by NC State to make it 3rd and short.
Yeah.
So very manageable here. He's got to get a first down. Can't go for it on 4th. So incomplete pass here, anything will result in a...
Yeah, that's just too risky, man. Going across the middle like that. What, those soft outs and curl routes are there on man defense. But when you come across the middle like that, you're risking those linebackers staying put and putting a hit on you like that and jarring the ball loose.
Yeah, and it's hard to complain too much because it did hit your receivers, in the hands. Like Thayer Thomas had an opportunity to make the catch, but like you said, there's so much traffic in there, he's going to get hit, and he's going to get hit hard, and that's ultimately what resulted in the incompletion.
Yep.
So, but Michigan State will take over at their 45-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now.
And it's not like slants don't have their purpose. I mean, they definitely can slice up certain defenses, but in a situation like that, I think you just want to find space.
Absolutely. A good counterplay there to Jarek Broussard. Going to pick up another 6 yards. And I think it's looking to me like Connor may be going with the ground game a little more. It's open so far. He seems to be getting a lot of great looks and probably going to attack that boundary side. He does just that.
Oof. Yeah, you can tell that Connor's got a lot of confidence right now, and he can almost taste the blood in the water a little bit or smell the blood in the water because right now he's up 7. He's got the ball. He's driving. This could be down 2 scores type of situation for Blake if he's not careful.
Yeah, we saw Mason just a little bit ago come down from 14 in a 2-minute span, essentially. Flip a game on its head. Can Blake do the same thing here? He needs a big stop, though. Even a field goal would suffice at this point.
Yeah.
Giving up 4 yards per play, though, is probably not going to get it done. I think that's pretty much what Michigan State is averaging. I think they've had 1 negative play so far, and they've had the ball for probably 10 or 12 plays at this point.
Yeah, it's been kind of a clinic so far by Coach Connor. He's doing a really good job of just controlling the ball and running his offense the way he knows how.
Yeah, going to be forced with another 3rd and 1 now. And you don't even have to force it here. If I personally, I'd probably go with a run play because you don't want to risk an interception. You're almost guaranteed points at this point. You got a good look in the box here. Blake read it. Unfortunately, just run right into the center. And as I predicted, Michigan State's going to pick up 9 yards on the ground. Another halfback dive there by Michigan State. I'd love to see how many carries Broussard has at this point.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's, got to be influenced a little bit by how Blake has been lined up pre-snap, and now you'll see he's going into kind of a bear look here to get more guys in the box, so kind of influence the game a little bit, see if he can stop this run game.
Yeah, and walking down both safeties, Connor looks to be swapping to 5 wide now.
Mm-hmm. Which to me, all that means is that Connor saw the box was full. He didn't like the numbers. He didn't want the run play that he had called. So he audibled out. And obviously we see a false start there, but that's probably what the mental side of that was.
Yeah, just good adjustments, honestly.
But I do like that. I think he should definitely stick more guys into the box and force him to beat him through the air, because that's where you're going to get your turnovers. That's where you're going to get, the stop the clock situations and all the things you need to do to formulate a comeback.
Yeah, it's really hard to force fumbles in this game. You're better off trying to have the opponent make their own mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have them beat themselves kind of deal. And oftentimes that's kind of what happens. If you look at Blake's first possession, he had a good read. He had a route open. Threw the ball too low, and it was picked off by the sitting corner. So,
right
now 3rd and 8 for Michigan State. A little different situation than the 3rd down we saw a second ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say this might be the longest 3rd down situation we've seen for Michigan State today.
He's going to throw on a quick bubble. I kind of like it. A little safe call there. Your one-on-one, mano-a-mano type situation to get the first down.
Yeah. No, essentially it's a sweep play, right? You're getting the ball out in space to your athlete. If it's a one-on-one situation, that's a broken tackle away. It's first down.
Not even that. In that scenario, he's a broken tackle away from a touchdown even. So,
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Nonetheless, it's 10-0 Michigan State. Here we are. They're playing their game. I think Coach Connor's got to be pleased with the way he's performed so far, yeah?
Absolutely. And if you're Coach Blake, there's really no need to panic even. You still have plenty of time to get back in this. And you're essentially one stop away from taking the lead or tying the game. So
yep.
Lots of football left to be played. There's no need for either team to get too high or too low at this point.
Right.
We got trips to the right. Leary with Houston in his backfield. Leary throwing and hit as he releases. Ball falls incomplete. Devin Leary is 0 for 6 passing to start the game.
Yeah, that's the red alert right there for me. That's not the start that Coach Blake wanted to see for his quarterback at all.
Now he's got the corner open on a glorified flood concept. And I think Carter
got his foot down barely for that first completion. Oh no, they're going to take it away.
Booth review coming in. I think he is out of bounds, Twist. But hey,
yeah, he didn't get it down.
Well, last game, it looked incomplete to us, and they kept it as a catch. So who knows? CBS scoreboard don't tell us.
Oh yeah, they did take it away.
Okay. But hey, if you're Blake, that's twice I've seen that flood concept be wide open. So I'd probably look at going back to it. I don't know if Michigan State's running a bunch of cover 3 or what it is, but it's been open more oftentimes than not.
Yeah, I think the problem is he hasn't hit it on time yet. You know.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Nonetheless, he finds a guy wide open down the middle of the field and picks up the first down, and here we go.
Yeah, Toodle's been his go-to guy pretty much all season. Don't expect that to change today. Devin Leary going to keep it a little stiff arm.
It's a nice stiff arm. Coach Blake going with those white and wolf grays tonight. Looks good.
Yeah, Michigan, or not Michigan State. NC State does have some beautiful uniforms. I will say that.
That was one of the draws when I first picked, when I joined this league and I had to pick a team. That was one of the draws for me was their uniform sets. They were pretty clean.
Absolutely, that's part of the reason why I went with Louisville as well. That one time, season 3, I think it was.
Yeah, the white and the red is just something that looks so clean about that.
Absolutely, the aesthetically pleasing. Jordan
Great call.
Houston on the counter picks up 8 yards out of bounds. Sorry, 17 yards on second 8. Like I said, there's no need to panic here if you're Blake. You're one stop away from a completely different ball game. You forced a field goal last drive. Your first drive defensively, he started in plus territory, so you pretty much handed him points anyway on that one. Now, Blake, I think had made his mind up as soon as the ball was snapped on that one.
That was interesting. I would have liked to see where that play would have developed had he stayed in the pocket, because it looked like that drag was coming wide open immediately, and he just kind of took off the opposite direction. So there it is again. Yep, that was the other read that you need to look at. That linebacker, if he chases that drag at all, that's going to be open.
Yeah, and honestly, that's back-to-back times you've ran that play and the drag's been wide open. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to that. And if you're Blake, you're hoping he's taking notes on this kind of stuff. But
great play,
wide open. I don't know if that was a pick route. It kind of looked like it though. The DB definitely left him a little too much room over there. But Blake's going to make a 7 game. But as I was saying, he's ran the flood concept a couple times. It's been there. He just, as you mentioned, the timing was off. The drag has been there immediately twice. If you're Blake and you're taking notes of this kind of stuff, you could be setting yourself up for success later on down the road.
Yep. And that's another, great point that you bring up there. Taking notes, having a play call sheet, having a game plan going into these games. A lot of guys don't do it, and it's actually something that could set yourself up for when you're in a game like this, when you need a big play and you don't have that in front of you. Having that kind of a thing in front of you might change the way you play call. So talking to some of these guys around the league, including you, Gage, they do put together game plans or maybe even script out plays for their first drive. A lot of things that are taken from the real game of football can be applied in this kind of a video game setting.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this game compared to games like Madden where, Madden, it's more team.
Oh, my goodness.
And that looks like another busted coverage there, and I don't think that's a busted coverage in the sense that, well, maybe, I don't know. There's been some cover 3 bust where the corners just don't get back for some reason, but I think that was just a good hole shot against cover 2.
Well, and what Coach Connor saw there was that press, and he was looking at him right off the line, and he just saw his guy run right past him. That was an easy look, but not sure what defensive call that was. I'd like to know what that was because that looked really funky.
I will say I do like that part in Madden where they will tell you what the previous play was. But we unfortunately don't have that. Sometimes we can tell, like we can quickly identify floods and sticks and shallows and drives and things of that nature. But defensively, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, you're right.
So 2nd and 10 now. We got a screen pass coming in. Blake has it read, but they
broken tackles all over the place. Berger with like 7 broken tackles that play.
Yeah, finally able to bring him down. And going to be another 3rd and long for Michigan State. And if you're Blake, here's where you've got to get off the field. You have to win 3rd.
Oh, yeah. Huge play for the Wolfpack right here. And leaves a man wide open on the sideline.
I think that was just a simple out. I think that may have been a true busted coverage on the NC State side.
Yeah, and to me it just looks like the defensive coordinator for NC State right now is just not guessing, but at the same time I don't see a real true identity. I don't see, what I mean? Like just not like a true set or anything. He's just kind of coming out and trying stuff, it looks like to me. And I could be wrong, but and there's a broken tackle that's going to cause a wide open touchdown. But do you know what I'm saying? It seems like he's kind of just trying to see if this works or that works, as opposed to maybe looking like he has a set few defensive plays that he likes to go to.
I think you're right. I think he's still finding his footing in the passing game, but he's shown success at least on the last drive and the drive before that, shutting down Connor's run game. I mean, even on that touchdown, he was there. He had two guys queued on the back, the quarterback. He had a safety there for the pitch man. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
execute it more better than that. They're just
No,
missing
absolutely.
tackles. And then yeah, in the pass game, he's just trying different stuff. I think he needs to find something that he's comfortable with, or maybe
Hmm.
try to pick out what Connor's doing through the air. Like, where's he? Is he going short? Is he favoring right over left, field over boundary, things of that nature, and then try to exploit it that way. But he's definitely keying on Connor's run game now. If he can continue with that, he should be pretty well off. But Connor's defense has been shutting down Devin Leary all day, 3 for 11, one interception at this
Yeah.
point.
And that's the story of the game so far to me, anyways. Is Leary has been off since the jump, and it's because of this defense. It's not because of Leary so much. I think we had seen maybe one errant pass, but and there's another pass that I mean probably should have been completed, but the defender makes a great play. I mean, Leary's just having a really tough game, and Blake's feeling the aftermath of that.
Absolutely. Connor's taking off his clothes over on the sideline, just having a field day. Really pumped after that interception. And I don't want to say put this game on ice because of what happened in the last one, but he can make this a world of hurt for Blake if he's able to come away with 6 here before the half. And I think he gets the ball to start the second half as well. Again, another good run stop by the NC State defense. Blake has started crowding the box, and it's working against the run. He's just got to figure out how to make it work against the pass as well.
Yeah, and I think that's where understanding your role on the defensive play comes into effect here, because if let's say you call a cover three, as he has a wide open here receiver for the first down, but let's say you call a cover three and you're playing as the free safety that has the deep third, right? And you come up and you're playing the run and you leave open that deep third and it's a pass play. You have to know your responsibility if it is a pass. So that's part of it too, is maybe call plays that that you have some free roam ability, or call one where you have a blitzer so that you have that, the whole defense is set behind you so that you can be creative. Those types of things might be helpful, for people that are watching or listening that don't usually do that kind of thing. But play calling on defense has a lot to do with knowing your role on that certain play as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And beautiful run there by Peyton Thorne on the read option. Going to set him up first and goal. Blake Scott, I mean, he's got a 3.35 look here. Safety kind of walked within 10 yards. A
Yeah,
crowded
I'm
box
running the
to say the
football here.
least. But against 12 personnel, how do they match up? Going to hold Michigan State to 3 yards there. So now going to be second and 11. Out of this look, I'd expect to see Michigan State, at least with two tight ends, probably stick to the ground game, or maybe set up some type of play action, just kind of quick flood concept or a little waggle somewhere in there kind of mixed in.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that he's not calling a timeout. Or actually, I was actually surprised that Blake wasn't calling timeouts when it got close to about a minute there, so that he might be able to get a possession to score there. But nonetheless, touchdown Michigan State, and it's getting out of hand, isn't it?
It is. It's getting ugly. Michigan State gets the ball to start the second half, and it seems to me as Blake may have already checked out and being on his way to Waco.
That's true too. Didn't even think about that. He might have already had his bags packed, ready to go on his private jet down there to Waco. You're right.
And he really hasn't played bad. He's had two throws go the wrong way. This kind of turned this game in Michigan State's favor. He threw a pick in the first drive, and both interceptions have came where Michigan State started in plus territory.
And this is when it would be really helpful to have our media insider Wilson on hand, because I think that what we might be seeing here is these NC State players might be quitting on their coach because they know he's leaving.
That could be it as well. Definitely could be it. I mean, 3 for 13 out of Devin Leary is definitely uncharacteristic. This is a guy that's supposed to be a top 5 guy in the draft. Not necessarily playing like it today.
No. as we start the second half here, Michigan up 24-7. We talked about Blake's departure from NC State. Who do we know? Is in the talks about maybe taking over for NC State. Have we heard anything about that yet?
I don't know. They could be looking to take maybe an off year with the program. That it's a good school. It's a good roster. I think they're setting it 90 overall, somewhere in that. It's a really good defense. Offense is kind of in the same situation as Clemson, where they don't have any just true threats at wide receiver. They've got a really solid defense, though, and through the run game, we've seen it here today. But apparently, word from Gerald is Hawkeyes will be taking over the head coach at NC State. So, looks like he will be joining the conference with, I think, seemingly Clemson and North Carolina and Wake should almost be a given. And then it'll be interesting to see who kind of rounds that conference out.
Wow, yeah, that's a good fit for that coach. For those who don't know who that is, he's a very good user. So kind of negates the whole roster being a little bit underwhelming. When you've got a user like that can play the game well, sometimes your roster is kind of doesn't really matter.
Exactly. Yeah, you're like I said with Madden, it's really team over scheme. When NCAA is not that way. If you're good schematically, then it doesn't matter how good your team is. You can have success with them. 3rd and 11 now for NC State, and it's Barker, and he's got nobody to beat. Battle.
Oh, a little block in the back there.
Yeah, it's a perfect block though, nonetheless. And I think, as it seems, looks we got another shirt coming off. Connor is now shirtless on the sideline for Michigan State, and I mean he's pretty much sealed the deal now. I think at least.
Yeah, if she isn't singing yet, that fat lady, she's at least getting her throat, nice and ready to get that high note out there, because I think this one's just about over, buddy.
I would say so. I would turn on the chew clock if I'm Connor, and just kind of get this thing out of here. I wouldn't even give him a chance to come back. Not necessarily kind of foot on the throat deal, but just limit his possessions.
That's right.
Hey, and really, man, I mean, this has been a hell of a performance out of Coach Connor. Even he's been really, really solid at this point. I mean, 31-7, it's been straight domination. Like we said,
Yeah.
he's lost 2 games to 2 top 5 teams, both by 3 points. So he really hasn't even lost by a touchdown at this point. And Leary is just firing incompletion
Oh my goodness.
after incompletion.
No, and that's it's a great point, because that's what I've been seeing from Coach Connor this year. All season is just playing everybody super tough, and his only 2 losses were very close. I don't know what Blake is looking for there, but another huge sack for Michigan State. 3rd and 21.
Yeah, coming in from my sideline reporter, it sounds like a lot of the NC State coaching staff is already on a plane to Waco. So that's the report. Looks like Blake, the head coach, is he's finishing out with his guys, but his coordinators and whatnot they're gone.
That makes sense. That's probably a lot of the miscommunication there.
Yeah, a bad ball by Devin Leary. I don't know if that one's on the coordinators. That could be just a bad ball on Devin's part, but nonetheless, this is getting ugly in East Lansing.
Such a nightmare type of a night for Leary and his offense. It's just been dismal.
Yeah, and you got to remember, I mean, Blake was in the national championship, in season 3, I believe it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is, Blake's proved himself in the league at this point. He's not a player, not a fluke to be in the playoffs or anything like that. Maybe a fluke game, fluke season for him. He's only won 3 games, but he's proved that he belongs. I think he's won a conference championship. He's found himself in the Natty a little bit. So be curious to see how he does when he takes over at Baylor.
Yeah, I think a change of scenery is really good for him. I think that we'll see the old Blake back in no time.
Absolutely. And on the other side, I mean, Connor's just going to keep trucking along. He's got on chew clock now. 3rd and 3 in field goal range. 3rd quarter, 3:13 to play. All 3s on the scoreboard, apparently.
Yep, and at this point, we're here in the playoffs. The stats don't matter too much. Just that big W and that big L. That's all that really matters. So I expect him to just kind of keep the ball between the hashes, run this thing down as much as he can on his possessions, and try to get out of here.
Absolutely. A win is a win. Doesn't matter how it comes. All that matters is you survive and advance. Not sure who he'll be playing in the next round. As you know, it's no longer a traditional bracket. We go by the high seed, play the lower seed kind of deal.
Right.
2-yard rush there by Jarek Broussard. I mean, this game's we got 8 minutes left. Twist. This game's already over. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really
Yeah.
just not that much to talk about.
No. But that's how these games go sometimes. I mean, like you said though, I mean most of these playoff games last year were within a touchdown or so. So this is one of those early round matchups that you do see every once in a while where just outmatched, outcoached, and just one of those nights. But overall, I mean, still we can pull some positives from both teams and talk about some stuff. No problem.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been all positives for Connor. He's gonna play. Gerald, if you can let me know. Okay, if KSU wins, Connor will play Auburn. If KSU loses, he will play North Carolina. So we could see a North Carolina Michigan State rematch, or he will face Auburn, who is the only undefeated team left in the country at this point, set at 9-0 ACC champion this season. As Jarek Broussard, 30-yard reception, good enough for a touchdown, a 38-7 lead.
Backing it on. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the road to the national championship in this league is it's a rocky one. There's definitely no easy matchups. Once you get into the playoffs, it is on. Gloves come off. Doesn't matter what round it is. But as we saw last round, we almost had an upset first round. So I know my matchup is definitely not going to be overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll be faced with a tough one, no matter who it is. Another game we could look at is that Kansas State Minnesota game. We got the 6
Coach
seed
Sneak
going up against the 11. Sneak is in his first season in the league, able to sneak into the playoffs as the 11 seed. I think he is 3-5 as it stands this season. 3 ranked wins, similar to NC State. All 3 of NC State's wins came against ranked opponents. So,
Yep.
he's going to Manhattan, Kansas, to face Kansas State, who is 6-3. Let's see. I think he lost to you once. Lost to Versa in the championship. I'm not sure where his third loss came in, but another really good team that found itself in the 6th seed and in the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, and Coach Sneak not only sneaked into the playoffs, but he snuck into the into the playoff selection show. I don't know if you checked out his beard, but he's got a good, nice, fierce beard game going on.
Absolutely. Got to stay warm in this cold weather that's making its way across the country.
Especially up there in Minnesota, he's got to keep that thing tight, huh?
Absolutely. Jordan Houston can catch it on an angle route. He picks up a first down. Clock will stop momentarily. And another game in Gainesville, Jet versus BT and Pitt. Jet started the season 4-0. Is now 1-4 in the last 5 games.
Yeah, it was a hot start. Hot start for the Gators.
And he actually went on the road to Minnesota and lost that one, I think, by 1 touchdown. And then lost back-to-back games to the SEC champion Auburn. So just tough ranked games there for Jet. So 5-4 is not all too bad. I think he beat Kentucky, as we saw lost by 1 score earlier to Michigan. Then BT and Pitt, I think that's another guy who's potentially on his way out, not happy with how things are going in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So he's on his way out. He had a big win over Clemson, and I think he's 4-4. So a couple of FCS wins for him. He finds himself at the 9 seed.
Yep, and Blake's within his rights, obviously, to go for this one. He's just trying to keep above water at this point.
Tootle with the hurdle gets the animation he needs to pick up the first down. And another tidbit from our beloved committee member, Gerald, says Florida beat Pitt 47-30 in week 1 of the season. So we got a little rematch coming in the first
Nice,
round
that's
of
right.
playoffs. So that'll be a fun one. Hopefully, we can get that one on stream for you guys to check out. If not, it'll hopefully be on the YouTube channel at minimum as Lassane. He's going to pick up a first down, an 18-yard reception. Florida lost to Minnesota in double overtime, 42-48.
Hmm.
So it seems like all these playoff teams have seen each other at least once.
Yeah,
Or have
yeah, exactly.
played some other playoff teams, even if they're on the other side of the bracket or in the non-conference games.
How high up did Florida get this season in the
I
rankings?
want to say he was top 4 at one point. Let me pull that up really quick.
A little cheeky play to the backside here for Blake.
Yeah, so Florida was ranked number 4 or number 3 in week 3 and number 5 in week 4. I think he lost to Auburn between week 3 and week 4, so he dropped
Right,
just
yeah.
a little bit. Devin Leary using his
Oof.
speed to get away from the defensive lineman. He's going to find pay dirt and make this.
Well, there's some positive play for you there.
Absolutely. Going to get it down to 24, maybe 23 with a 2-point conversion.
Another interesting thing to think about is I wonder how many teams from last year that were in the playoffs are back and how many new teams are in this year.
I believe I can check that out. So I know myself was in playoffs last year, and I am out. Versa was
We don't talk
in.
about that, though.
You were in. Yeah, I've got some conspiracy stuff going on there. All right, so we got Texas and Auburn are both in. You were in. Taco's retired. Notre Dame was, I believe, MT last season, so he's back in. Gerald is back in. Twist Jr. moved from Arizona State to Wake. He's in. So we have 6 of the 8 teams that were in last season is in. Clemson is out, and then LSU retired. So pretty good retention there. I think essentially we had to expand to get new blood in, and Connor's already making his name known.
Yeah, and honestly, not that I expected Blake to lose or even lose like this, but I did expect Connor to bring a game like this to the first game of the playoffs. He's very solid, and he's going to be a tough matchup at a 7 seed.
Absolutely, yeah. He kind of got the blood into the deal where there's really good teams in other conferences that it would be hard to put a 2-loss team in front of. But like I said, both of his losses are by 3 of the top 5 teams. So he's kind of the always twist. We could have something here.
Hey, you don't ever call anybody out of the game after a turnover. So let's see what happens here. If you can maximize on this, get a quick score, maybe an onside kick. Yeah, this one's not over yet. You know what I'm saying?
It could be far from over, especially with a potential 1-score touchdown here and make this 38-22, so a 2-score game. He's got 2 on the same route. Oh, there is a flag though. Could that be rough?
I'm not sure what that's gonna be.
Offsides.
Oh, weird. Yeah, Blake saw the cover 3 right away there and knew he had that seam right between those guys. He's making good reads, when he has to. I don't know what got away from him there for a while, but it looks like he's settling in finally.
Yeah, so the lines before this game were FanDuel minus 13.5, DraftKings minus 10.5 in favor of Michigan State. So as it stands, both would cover, but Jordan Houston out of the backfield, picking up 6 yards. And yeah, Blake's got to go hurry up and hope to get the onside kick or another quick turnover. Still a chance to win this game, but 3 interceptions, and I think that was 10 for 24 passing is, you're looking at what the byproduct of those stat lines would be.
Wow, what a catch. You could see Connor was trying to bait him there by looking like he was going to give up that deep route and then ran back with him. Crazy catch.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little Nick Saban-esque coming out of Connor here, where you're winning. The game is pretty much all but yours at this point, but you're letting up. You're taking your foot off the gas, and that's not exactly what Connor wants to see because you do have 3 more games you have to win in order to bring home that national championship.
Well, he got the quick score. Let's see if he can get the 2, and then the most exciting play in football, the onside kick coming up. What a great user defensive play there by Connor. Wow.
And time for the onside kick. hard hit there, but able to retain possession. Hey, and the big thing there is electing to go for two, even though he did get it instead of kicking the field goal, is it remains a 3-score game instead of only 2. So that could be
Yep.
huge if Blake was to pull off this miraculous comeback.
Yeah, you're right.
So that 2-point conversion was a little bit bigger than just the 2 points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, exactly. That was a complete like extra score now for Blake that he has to get. So you're right.
Yeah, 2:49 to play in the game. Michigan State still has 3 timeouts. Broussard. The biggest thing for Michigan State is you want to get first downs, but you also kind of don't. You want to be able to run that clock down just a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, you want to, drive the ball meticulously down the field. You want to get those first downs. And a great play call by Blake to bring the run commit there because he knew he was running the football. He knew he had to get that first down. Great stop. Got the timeout. And there we go. I mean, like you said, had he gotten that 2-point conversion, we were looking at a whole different chance here.
Kicks out 56 yards.
Oh, it went off the side. Wow.
The doink off the right upright. And it really makes no difference to Blake. He's down 17, down 20. He's got to get 3 touchdowns to win the game regardless.
Yeah, it's a 3-touchdown game no matter what there.
I would like to see Blake going out swinging at least. Try to make this a 41-28 game is at least a little bit more respectable.
Correct.
He's going to find Tootle. And another...
He's offsides again. Yeah, what he's doing is he's using that D tackle and he's trying to get a good jump, and it looks like he's just kind of a little bit early.
So 1st and 10 now. There goes back to that bubble. That's the 3rd time we've seen that bubble called. 3rd or 4th we've seen that bubble screen called.
ACL is destroyed on the play.
Absolutely. Toodle's open if he can.
Oh, he's got him. I actually didn't see the defender that was behind him, though. I think he was covered.
Yeah, a good quarterback with Stephen Leary could have thrown it away from the safety on a rope and probably got that ball in there. So,
but as we've seen, Leary hasn't been the most confident quarterback today. So,
and that could be intercepted. It is, and that will do it, folks. Henderson maybe looking to take that one back, but really could just need it out. Maybe need to get 1 first down, but that will do it for this game. Connor will advance to the quarterfinals. And we'll wait to see his opponent.
Well, he really did everything he had to do, like we talked about. He really didn't make any mistakes. Ran the ball really well. Yeah, it's a recipe for a win,
Absolutely. A beautiful performance there out of Connor. Lackluster out of Blake, to say the least. But like I said, he just seems to be checked out. Coaching staff's headed to Waco. Players playing very uncharacteristic. So a rough outing for NC State, but there's all eyes towards next season for Coach Blake and all eyes toward next week for Michigan State and Coach Connor.
Word from the sideline is that Coach Blake actually spent quite a bit of practice time making a sign that said something about the Kentucky coach. Can you confirm?
I can confirm that. It seems as if his focus was on maybe he thought he was going to play Kentucky in round 1.
You got to wonder what the thought process was there, huh? Because preparing for a bowl game or a playoff game rather seems a little bit more important than making a sign towards another coach. But you know what? It's not me. It's not you. He made that choice, so might be affecting his play today.
Well, you know who wasn't affected today, and that was Coach Connor and the Michigan State Spartans. A huge 20-point win in round 1 of the playoffs. They will await some other games to be decided on who their next opponent will be. And we will be back momentarily, probably 5 to 10 minutes, with the Arizona Bowl between Clemson and Oregon State.